strong magnitude 7.7 earthquake and very strong aftershocks strike Cuba-Jamaica area, felt in all of Florida. Aftershocks still taking place, the latest one being 5.1, and of course Puerto Rico is still rattling as well. This is in the area of the subduction zone, Cayman Islands, Puerto Rico Trench. We've seen that Puerto Rico has been rattling from earthquakes for months now, but they obviously have had a major upturn, an upswing. After the 6.8, we've had a tremendous amount of 5s, 4.5s, 5 aftershocks in Puerto Rico, and obviously when you have a big earthquake, it rattles the nearby faults. Now we'll take a look at the maps, but this is the 7.7 earthquake, 125 kilometers northwest of Lucia, Jamaica. It's between Cuba and Jamaica, and it was a shallow 10-kilometer depth. It was reportedly felt by 1,416 people, and the shaking was all the way towards the whole of Florida. The whole region shook, of course. It was a major earthquake, with all that goes with it. Now, we've had a number of very strong aftershocks, the latest one being just now, an hour ago, 5.1. And before that, we had a 4.3. We've had a tremendous number of aftershocks, and around the Cayman Ridge as well. The 5.1 again in Lucia, Jamaica, again shallow at 10 kilometers depth, even though it was in the epicenter was in the ocean, the Caribbean Ocean. It was still felt, reported by 8 people, and this was just an hour, within the hour, so we expect that a lot more people will report that. Now, the overview of the Lucia, Jamaica earthquake, the 7.1 and 5.1, the aftershocks, of course. The January 28, 7.7 earthquake in the Caribbean Sea to the south of Cuba and northwest of Jamaica occurred as a result of a strike-slip faulting on the plate boundary between the North America and Caribbean tectonic plates. Preliminary focal mechanism solutions for the earthquake indicate slip occurred as a result of left lateral motion on a steep fault striking towards the east-northeast, or as a result of the right lateral motion on a steep fault striking towards the south-southwest. The fault plane striking approximately east-west is consistent with the orientation of the regional plate boundary. This transformed structure is named the Orient Fault, and the location of this earthquake, the North American plate, moves to the west-southwest with respect to Caribbean plate at a rate of 19 millimeters per year. While commonly plotted as points on maps, earthquakes of this size are more appropriately described as slip over a larger fault area. Strike-slip faulting events of the size of the January 28, 2020 earthquake, typically about 170 by 25 kilometers length and width. Modeling of this earthquake implies dimensions of about 200 kilometers by 20 kilometers width, predominantly west of the hypocenter. 5 other earthquakes of magnitude 6 or larger occurred within 400 kilometers of this January 28, 2020 event over the preceding half century. These include the 6.8 magnitude December 2004, 208 kilometers to the west of today's quake, that is the 7.7 quake, and a 6.2 magnitude event, May 1992, almost 100 kilometers to the east of the January 28th, yesterday's 7.7 magnitude quake. Likely because of their location away from land and major populated centers, none of these earthquakes are known to have resulted in shaking-related damage or fatalities. Here we are on USGS showing us the location of it. Let's go to our regional information. This is of the 7.7, as we said, and going to the aerial map so we can see a lot better. There we go. And the shake maps. As you can see, they stop at a certain square. Liquefaction, it doesn't say. Landslide instrument doesn't say. And did you feel it? Response 1 kilometer. Obviously it was felt, but the thing is that, okay, tectonics, as you can see, it goes right past, right? You can see that right there. Can you see it right there? If we take off the shake map, you can see a lot better right there. Make it easier for you. Okay, right there. So it's right on that, right on the fault. Okay, basically going southwest to northeast somehow. And that's the Puerto Rican Trench over Puerto Rico, as we can see, right there. That's Puerto Rico. And going back to this, it's not at all far from it, as we can see. The shake maps, we can see this square shakes it all the way to Florida. If we pan out and we extrapolate the circles, this stops at this square, but if you basically, it takes up all of Florida. Okay, it was pretty shaken up, and then we have the aftershock here, the same location exactly, at the 7.7, and of course you have the same fault giving the pressure to this was just 4.6. It was a few hours, within the hour, basically. 4.6, so that's still going on. And these are old volcanic islands, of course. Okay, these are all volcanic islands. And the Greater and Lesser Antilles as well, Lesser Antilles. And you have Kikim-Jenny volcano, is a submarine volcano right here where the little hand is. And, of course, subduction zones everywhere. Guatemala earthquakes, Guatemala volcanoes, Mexican volcanoes, and we even have asphalt volcanoes in the Gulf of Mexico around here, as we know. And we have the Jackson volcano underneath the Colosseum. The Colosseum is built right over the crater of the volcano. So this we'll keep an eye on, and hopefully it won't set off more bigger events in the nearby areas of Mexico, Guatemala, and Latin America. I'll leave links below for you, for this is from Seismo Berkeley and USGS. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.